What up? What up? What is happening? Good people. Man, need y'all to chime in and take a listen on this interview here. Man, it's good stuff, man. He was asking me questions, I was asking him questions, and it's probably 3, 4 years old, maybe 5 years old. I want to say, hold on, 4 years old, 3 to 4 years old is when this interview took place. So be sure to leave a comment, man. We discussed some things that a lot of people are still discussing today. This was 4 years ago. They're still discussing it today. So again, man, y'all check out this interview. Big shout out to Street Racing Channel Billy, the kid they call him. Big shout out for your time, for hollering at me. Oh man, we definitely and you know what? I haven't spoke to him or linked up with him since the interview, man. And I actually seen him at the racetrack this past a month ago or whatever it was.
Been a bad
I
connection.
don't know what happened here. Yeah, there we go. What's going on, Brent? Yeah,
How's it going, brother?
it's going. We trying to fight through this rain we
Oh,
got.
it's been raining nonstop here. Everything's flooded.
You gotta
We got to go out and
yes,
work in it all the
yes,
time, so it
swim to the
sucks.
mailbox. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everybody that's watching, this is the man.
Oh, I ain't nobody.
There might be a we got a couple more that's gonna jump in here. They were here
Okay.
earlier, and I just told them that I'll get back on here once I confirm, talk to you. I'm not sure here. A lot of my comments don't come up, man. I don't know if it's a Facebook thing or what. I know it's a delay type of
Yeah,
thing. I do know that.
yeah. You can't hardly tell with this Facebook Live stuff sometimes what's going on, but just do the best we can.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you got the truck back together.
No, it's actually still apart right now. The engine's at the machine shop. I heard
Okay.
it the last race of the year a couple months ago, and had to get a sleeve and had to replace a piston. Going to replace the rods. Going to replace the crankshaft. So it's basically going to be a whole new engine except for the same block.
Yeah.
So
Right. Well, if you don't care, could you give these people, who you are and what you do and all that good
okay,
stuff?
so I'm Billy Hoskinson. I run Street Racing Channel on Facebook and YouTube, Instagram. I started Street Racing Channel 2017. I just wanted to kind of bring some light on some of the things going on here in Ohio as far as the racing scene goes. And I wound up building an S10 that a lot of people recognize. Some people don't yet, but it runs pretty well, and it does well for what it is. We try to stay within our budget, and we do the best we can with what we got.
Definitely from the videos I've seen. Well, I even seen it in person though. You was there. You was here at US 60 back in
Yeah,
November, so I got to see it in person,
we
and it's definitely a
we had
contender.
some issues that day. We had a wastegate problem. We had one wastegate sticking, and we had some other issues going on, but it still managed to run pretty well first round. I think second round it lit the tires. We managed to win somehow, and then
Yeah.
third round we just couldn't get it done because it lit the tires again. But it usually doesn't do that. But sometimes the first season on the turbos and everything, it was definitely a learning process. Um, a lot of bugs that we had to work out, but when it did run good and everything worked right, it really shined. So I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't mind? What's your setup?
So
Is it? I mean, just small
so it's a
block,
it's a
or is it?
406 small block Chevy. It's aftermarket block. It's a
Okay.
Speedmaster block. Uh, I think you can get them on Speedmaster for like $1,200. Uh, the crankshaft was a Summit crankshaft. The rods were a Speedmaster rod. They're about a $270 set of rods. Pistons were CP Carrillo nitrous bullet pistons. Well, they're not really for nitrous. They're more of an NA, but they got a dome. Um, the only thing we changed from nitrous to turbo was the camshaft. So we had John Booley, Little John Motorsports. He spec'd us out a camshaft, um, and that's pretty much the only thing we changed. It's got AFR
Wow.
220cc heads. They're just out of the box, nothing done to them. It's got regular style rockers, doesn't have shaft rockers, anything like that. Uh, it's pretty simple. It's carburetor, 6AL box, and no boost control, or it has a boost controller. No traction control, um, nothing like that. It's nothing fancy. We try to do the best of what we got. Like I said,
It definitely works. It does work. It looks good. It looks good. Running down through there, it does. And I've seen that, it's watching your videos on YouTube and such, man. That you do some traveling.
we near the end of the year here last year, we did travel a little bit. We were trying to get out there as much as we could because earlier in the season the truck wasn't together. We got it together about midway through August, and it took a month or two of testing just to get it to the point where we could actually race it and be competitive. So we kind of end up starting late in the year, and we were really itching to get out this winter because we had missed so much. So late October, November, and even into December, we were racing, just trying to get all that we could in, and we had to go down south to do that, obviously. So we like to travel. We like to go to new places and meet different people and race.
Yes, yes, yes. And for those who hear the little guy in the background, he's running around through here, so just have to. But yeah, and what is your take over the carbureted versus fuel injected? Is
Man,
that something that, I
I
mean, carbureted is something that you've been into?
my dad is really good with tuning carburetors. It's what we've known. Um, it was hard enough to get us to switch over to turbos to begin with because of the learning curve, um, and it eased it over a little bit to where we could kind of understand the transition a little bit better than going full fuel injection. No, I don't have the ability to tune a car with a laptop yet. We were just kind of scared of having to take it to somebody else to tune it. So we wanted to be able to learn ourselves fairly quickly. And, we didn't want to miss too much racing. We didn't want to have to sit out a year or two or have a year or two to figure everything out. And we felt like the carburetor was the best option, for not only for our budget, but just for the tuning abilities and things like that. I know that fuel injection is obviously a little bit better as far as your individual cylinders and your fuel and timing and all that stuff. But it's one of those things that was just our budget, and it's been working so far. Uh, I don't have any complaints with it. We bolted the carburetor on. It's a CSU carburetor. Um, and I can't say enough good things about CSU and Kevin Van Noy. Um, didn't have any trouble with it. Bolted it on, changed the jetting around a little bit. It was a used carburetor, um, and we got it figured out pretty good, and it didn't take very long.
Yeah, that's something I'm not familiar with as far as the carburetor setup, and then in a nutshell, I'm still learning
Yeah,
anyway. But still, yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun, definitely. And then to go to these races and see some of these cars run, and it just like 15 years ago, it doesn't seem like that it was as big as a scene as it is
yeah,
now.
yeah. The racing has definitely got extremely competitive in the last even just 5 years. Um, it seemed like when we first started, cars that were running 890s or nines in the quarter. They were bad fast. You know what I mean? It was like a street car that could run that was extremely fast. And now if you're running in the nines, it seems like you're in the way anymore. You got to be down in the lower eights to just be safe.
Right. Well, look, I'll be in the way.
I mean, for your
If, to see
for
that
your
for me, I mean,
everyday muscle cars and things like that. I mean, even the new cars they're coming out with, they're capable of going in the nines with a few modifications, and it's these
right.
power adder cars, these boosted cars, they're just nuts.
Yes, yes. Is that primarily quarter mile your way, or do you have eighth mile tracks that way too?
So I live right behind National Trail Raceway. It's a quarter-mile track, but they are very strict on tech, and I don't get to go there very often because my cage doesn't certify. So I typically try
Okay.
to stay to the eighth mile outlaw tracks, and I like to support the smaller tracks. Um,
Uh, good deal.
but
Good deal. They have a. I'm not for sure how their schedule is going to work this year, but they have one in Owensboro that I think they held two events last year. I mean, if I get any more information on it, I could send you some more information on it, and it's similar to that effect. What you're talking about, but definitely here in Hardinsburg, this track here. I mean,
I like US
it's a.
60.
I live. Yeah,
I'd like to come back
yeah.
there for sure.
Well, there was someone asking that earlier. Was wondering if you was thought about coming back, but as I imagine you would. I imagine you would. I'm not very far from it myself.
Yeah, they had that Bridge
At
Runners
all.
race
I
there,
live.
and I think they're probably going to do a lot more of that this year, and I'd like to run with those guys. It's a good group of guys.
Yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Good to hear too. That's good to hear that. Good to hear that. And I appreciate your
No
time.
problem.
Sitting here chit chatting with us. I said I don't know. I said with the delay, I don't know who all's in here and who all's not. I mean, but if any of y'all got any questions, can you see some of the questions on
Uh,
there
it looks like somebody said the New Orleans
or just
race was pretty
comments or anything?
awesome. Looked like 1 million people, so not really a question, but yeah, the New Orleans race, we
Yeah.
went down and we went to the pad, and Brian Joseph was down there flagging. We didn't really know anybody except for him, but when you go down there, it's like everybody treats you like family. It's a good atmosphere. The street racing is like unlike any place I've ever been. It's wild. There's 2,000 people at least on the street watching, and
Wow.
the cops are everywhere, and people are racing anyways, and it's like the Wild West. It's crazy.
I'd like to venture down there one just to say
You
I've
got to
been.
go on the
You
right
know.
night. Sometimes there'll be other people out there, but when Brian's there, you can bet it's going to be a good night. So
Got you. Got you. Got you. Yeah. Either way, just to say I've been there. You have any plans of doing any kind of man, what was that? They got one coming up next month down in Georgia.
is that Lights Out or No
I can't remember
Mercy?
what the name. Yes. Yeah. 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 Those
Man,
type of
that
things.
stuff is kind of out of my budget. I think if I was to do any of that stuff, I would have to put my truck on a 235 or something to compete. But even then, I think they're
Gotcha.
running. I don't know what they're running. Probably low fives, maybe high fours on 235s. So I mean, even then, I'm having to push my shit just to try and compete, and I don't like to do that. I like to keep it on the street or on a bad track and not have to use all the power because I don't have the budget to try and push my stuff to the limit every weekend.
I got you. I got you. Plus, your dad's Nova's sharp, man.
That's his car. He got it a long time ago, before I was born, and it's been in the family for a long time. He used to be a street car. He messed around and bracket raced it for a while. Um, won a lot of races with it. It had put food on the table for a few years. He was making more money with that car
All
than he
right.
was at his own job. So
All right. It's a good
yeah,
looking car. It
so
really is. And then those of y'all that haven't checked it out, go check out his YouTube page, man, and then his Instagram and Facebook and such. There's some neat stuff going on over there.
I've got a lot of good plans this year. I'm trying to pump out a lot more content. Last year, I was pretty much just getting started with everything and trying to grow my base. This year, I think it's really going to take off even more. So, got a lot of good plans.
I believe so. I believe so. There was something. What race? I can't remember what race that was that you did, but that it was on YouTube there, and you before you raced, you said a prayer
Yeah,
for you and the other
that was
driver,
in New
correct?
Orleans. Yeah,
Okay, okay, that was all right, man. That
I
was all
appreciate
right.
that. You know, I'm not the best Christian in the world. I mean, I don't claim to be or anything like that, but it gives me a feeling of safety when I say something like that or when I proclaim something like that right before, because you never know what can happen, man. Honestly, when you strap in,
Exactly.
you don't know if you're going to make it back. So it just makes me feel good to know that I'm right before I go down the road.
There we go. There we go. I'm definitely gonna keep watching, and I'm a fan, and as well as others on here fans. Hey, what's going on, Trinity? We I know that we'll be watching, and I hope to run into you again down this way or any other track.